Hi everybody and welcome back. Hey, today we're going to go over how to assemble your Palm Beach shutter frames. And we're actually going to break this into two different parts. We have certain frames in the Palm Beach shutter line, such as the L frame, the decorative Z frame, the casing sill frame, that do not require the use of a metal L bracket. If you get kit 4536 with your shutter packaging, you know that you're going to need to use some metal L brackets. The frames that we're going to show you first, however, do not allow you to use those brackets. So the first method we're going to show you is how to prepare and assemble your frame without them. There are two key important features to know about assembling these frames without the L brackets. Number one, you need your corner keys, first and foremost. Number two, you're going to need to find your Loctite 414 glue that should have come with your shutter packaging. So before we take a look and we actually dive in and completely assemble this corner, I want to take a closer look at the actual plastic corner bracket. When we take a look at this corner bracket, you're going to notice that we have some tabs on it. These tabs, typically on most shutter frames, are going to allow this frame to stay completely together without the use of glue. They would, in essence, snap into place. But if you look at where this tab is in relationship to this frame, what it would mean is we would have a hole right here in our frame. And that's something that we don't want to see, and neither do your consumers. So for certain frames like this L frame, done as an outside mount, you're not going to see any holes right here for this tab to sit in. So one of the first things that we want to do on an installation like this is we actually want to remove those tabs. So I'm going to show you how to do that. All you need is a flat blade screwdriver here, and we're going to get our flat blade screwdriver right here, and we're just going to pry up on the tab. See if I can get a better view for you there. Pry up on the tab and then it'll come apart. Alright, so there's number one gone. So let's move over to number two here. Pry the tab up. Once we do that, it should easily break free. Excellent. So that's step one to assembling this shutter frame. So step two is we want to actually, so now we know that the corner key is inserted here. That's pretty plain and simple. But we want to know how to glue this properly. There actually is a right and wrong way to glue. So let's get in a little more closely. At the end of the day, we want the miter in this corner to look just beautiful. This is one of the things that a consumer typically would focus on. They're going to look at this miter, and that's going to give them a sense of happiness. Here's maybe a consumer that's going to be unhappy if you leave the miter looking like that. Consumers that are going to be happy and think that they have absolutely purchased the premium product on the market are going to have miters that look just like this. In order to get a miter to look like this, we're going to have to glue it together. So let's take a look at how we do that. So this frame has many grooves in it. We don't want to glue them all. That's over gluing it. So what we want to concentrate on is we want to concentrate on the parts that people see the most, which is on the front face here, down the inside, across the inside of the miter, all the way. So this is the primary area that we're going to focus our gluing on. So step number one, you've probably been wondering what this piece is over here. Let me tell you what it is. It is protection for you when you do go to glue these frames, because you're more than likely going to do this in a consumer's home. I would be thrilled if you would take these, and these are just foam pieces that come from the shutter packaging. When you unpack your panels, you're going to see about 20 pieces of this. Take a handful of them, put them underneath the corner that you're going to actually glue, put them at every corner that you're going to glue, and what it's going to prevent you from being is it's going to prevent you from being that guy with the razor knife once you've accidentally stuck the shutter frame to someone's carpet, and now you're trying to cut the carpet fibers away to release the shutter frame. Trust me, that's a tip from someone who's been in that position. I highly recommend that you follow that tip. I have ever since I got a shutter frame stuck one time. All right, so let's get in a little bit closer, show you the gluing here real fast, and then we'll go ahead and finish up the assembly. All right, so we'll glue down the front side here. And let me tell you, the less glue you use, the better. This glue is amazing. Most of you that have worked with a super glue of some kind know that. We'll put a drop or two on the actual corner connector, maybe a drop or two in the back. And as quickly as we can, because it does dry fast, we want to get this, and we actually want to apply force and hold this joint together tightly. If we give it maybe a 5 to 10 count, that gives the glue time to bond, and we should be good to go. So if we let this go now, all right, and you don't want to disturb the frame after you've assembled it. So you want to kind of leave it there for a little bit, you'll know, 30 seconds or so, and then maybe you can move it around. So that is how to assemble one of the Palm Beach frames where L brackets are not required. All right, so let's get this one out of the way, get some of these other pieces out of the way here, and let's go to number 2. Oh, what do you know? Some of the glue, you can never be perfect when you're gluing it, so trust me when I tell you, use these foam pieces. It'll be a lifesaver for you. All right, so let's get this frame out of the way, and we'll bring in another set. So when you're talking about the 2 different types of frames, we have additional frames such as this one. This is your colonial frame. We also have the standard Z frame and the classic Z frame. If you look closely at these frames, these are much different. They are actually extruded with a channel here. These extruded channels are where you put your L brackets when you're ready for final assembly. So we've got our standard Z, our classic Z, and our colonial Z frame that all have these channels built in. So let's move these to the side. So what it means is now we have an additional source in an L bracket to keep this frame tied nicely together. It allows you to transport it farther. Maybe you need to go up the stairs or someplace that's not in the central location where you're building all these frames. So it does give you a little bit of leeway to move these around. One thing I want to show you quickly is that this L bracket does have 2 sides. There is a beveled side to this bracket. This is where your screws are going to go, and they're going to recess. On the back is a non-beveled edge. So when you install these L brackets, make sure that the beveled edge is facing you. The screws will go in much deeper, and the overall result will be much better for you. So we kind of want to follow the same technique as we did before, right? We want to use our corner brackets. So in here, when you go to assemble these frames, the corner brackets only go in one place. So hopefully there isn't any question. The corner bracket doesn't fit here. It doesn't fit here. It can't go sideways in here. So it only really fits in one spot. And what you'll notice on this particular one is we do not want to remove these tabs, because inside the shutter frame where you can't see, there's actually a hole that's punched. It's actually a square slot that's punched. When we insert this connector, you hear a nice snap, and that snap means the connector is securely in place. So we also want to glue this frame together as well. So let's bring our foam over here and get that ready to go and in place. Know how important that can be. All right, so let's begin the gluing process. Again, we want to focus on the front edge of this frame that the consumer is going to see, right? We want a beautiful miter along the front. So we're not going to add too much glue, but we're going to glue enough along the front edge, along the inside here, down the inside of the miter, and the inside of the light block, and maybe just a dab or 2 back, and 1 on the connector. All right, so as we slide this together, we should get a confirming lock in place that the internal corner connector is locked. And we're going to hold this as best as we can. Again, putting pressure inwards on the miter with my thumbs. We'll give it maybe a 5 to 10 second count here. And once that's complete, we should be able to let it go, and we have a really, really nice miter. So again, you know, for the next minute or two, try not to disturb this miter too much. It's still drying and curing. But for right now, because we're probably running out of time anyway, let's go ahead and show you the very last piece that you're going to do when putting this frame together. All right, so hey, once again, we've got the foam that's stuck. Good call. So as we flip this frame over, what we did is, in order to save a little bit of time in this video, we actually pre-drilled it. It's a tough angle to get at to be able to show you how to do this, so we pre-drilled it, but you want to lay your metal L bracket into place. You're going to grab your regular drill. You'll find that this came with kit 4536, so we'll dump out some of the contents here. And what you'll find are little pan head Phillips screws. We're going to install these Phillips screws into the corners here. There's one. It's one of the best things that you can do if possible. If you can take this screw and angle it away from the corner, it'll actually pull this miter together even more tightly, giving you even a better finished look. So we're not going to do all of them just to save a little bit of time here. We'll do the outside two, and then you might even prefer in your own install just to do the outside too. What we really want in the end is we want a miter that looks beautiful, something that you can transport wherever you need to as you prepare and as you finish your installation. We want you to protect the consumer's floor coverings. And if you've managed to accomplish all that, you're going to have a heck of a successful installation. We want to thank you for watching today. We hope that you come back and join us again soon.